Welcome back, everyone. Today we'll be discussing the numerous Dunk and Jordan 1 restocks that we'll be seeing over the next couple of days. Specifically, we will mention the name and images of the sneaker, the retail, release date, and whether the sneaker will be profitable or not. To preface this, if you guys enjoy these types of videos regarding the market, reselling, and even info on how to acquire these limited products, be sure to subscribe and enable post notifications. This way, you're always 100% updated. Furthermore, remember that the limited endurance restock will take place on February 3rd, Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 p.m. CET. Now, before we jump into it, just a quick note, it appears some of them were actually removed, very small amount of them, but stock is still loaded on Nike's back end, so I'm going to mention them anyway, just in case they pop up again, which I suspect they likely will, and of course, I'll specify which ones those are. Regarding all these restocks and drops, you can find them through the Nike app and Nike desktop, not the sneakers app, so make sure you have the Nike app downloaded if you plan to use the app over desktop. All these drops will be Leo drops, let everyone order, so you'll essentially have 2 minutes to enter in as many accounts as possible into each of them. Most likely, since there are multiple products on every single day, you'll only have time to use one account and just enter in as many products as possible. So I'll be going over which ones have the best ROIs, but it's up to you which ones you prefer to focus on. Maybe you want one pair for personal, for example. You can find all these products by either searching the stock keeping unit, the SKU, or more efficiently, you could simply search for keywords like Dunk Low, Dunk High, Jordan 1 Low, Jordan 1 Mid, etc. Just make sure you have Touch or Face ID enabled if you do plan to use the Nike app. This way, you don't have to manually type in the password. Alternatively, to save time, you could also pre-prepare all the direct links for products that you're planning to go for on separate tabs on your computer with the product page already opened on them. This way, all you need to do is switch tabs after you go to purchase one, then you go to the next one every single time, and it should be rather efficient this way. You normally only have to enter your password the first time, since your cookies are going to be shared throughout the rest of the tabs as well. If you want to use this method, I posted the direct links for all the products in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment. This way, it's super easy for you guys to access everything, so feel free to visit the video on drop day if you need to, but I'll also be tweeting them out on my Twitter, KeithAdam10, and personals for you, so you could follow me there. So with that said, let us begin with the list. Kicking off with the first day of restocks, on February 2nd, we have the Dunk Low EMB 75th Anniversary Brooklyn Nets, which will be restocking for $110. The grade school pair for these, as well as some others, will be on the 3rd, those of which we'll be going over later. When it comes to this men's pair, though, you can expect them to be profitable with a very good margin. These are still loaded on the app. Then the Dunk High NBA Sports Specialties will be restocking for $120. Unfortunately, these have very low demand, hence I'd have to say these are mostly just a personal pair, but if you do have no tax in your state, you might be able to make a little bit of lunch money with a poor margin on sizes 11 and up only. Nothing notable though. These are also still loaded on the app. Then in some more exciting news, we have the men and women's Dunk Low Panda, both restocking for $100 each. Of course, you could expect these to remain very profitable with a great margin. These are also still loaded on the app, luckily. Next, the Dunk Low Harvest Moon will be restocking for $100 as well. You could also expect these to be very profitable with a great margin. Thankfully, these are also still loaded on the app. Then we have the first drop for the Dunk Low Reverse Panda for $100. You could also expect these to be very profitable with a great margin. These are also still loaded on the app. Then we also have the first drop of the Dunk Low Women's Venice, also known as the Dunk Low Light Violet. You could also expect these to be very profitable with a great margin as well. These are also still loaded on the app. So that concludes day 1 of the restocks. There's 3 total days. So that was the February 2nd day. As you could see, the theme of this day was pretty much the men and women's dunks, whether it be Dunk Lows or Dunk Highs. So all you need to search for is Dunk Low, unless you do want to go for those brick Dunk Highs as well, but otherwise, you'll just have to search Dunk Low and just sift through the grade school pairs, because the grade school pairs are not going to be on this date. But in fact, now moving on to February 3rd, now we have the grade school pairs. So first, we have the grade school Dunk Low EMB 75th Anniversary Nets restocking for $85, like we mentioned earlier. All sizes should be profitable for these as well, with a very good margin. These are also still loaded on the app. Then we have the Dunk Low NBA 75th Anniversary Spurs in grade school for $85, but unfortunately, these are personals only. These are also still loaded. Then we have the Dunk Low Signal Blue Lemon Twist in grade school for $95, although these are mostly personals as well. These are also still loaded on the app. Then the Dunk Low Pink Velvet in grade school will also be restocking for $95, but you can expect these to be very profitable with a great margin. Luckily, these are still loaded on the app. Then the Dunk Low Grind Recycle in grade school drops for $95, although I'm expecting these to just be personals, unfortunately. These are also still loaded on the app. Then the Dunk Low Crazy Camo in grade school will be restocking for $95. These should remain profitable with a good margin. These are also still loaded on the app. Then the Dunk High All-Star Grade School will be restocking for $85. Expect these to remain profitable with a subpar to good margin depending on the size. When it comes to all these pairs that I'm discussing today, the bigger the size, the better they are. And that concludes the second day of the restocks. As you can see, the theme revolves around dunks, but now grade school rather than the men and women's pairs, which was the first day. So next up for the fourth, we have numerous Jordan 1 restocks, specifically Jordan 1 lows, Jordan 1 mids, and a Jordan 1 zoom as well. So let's jump into it. Starting for the fourth, the Jordan 1 low corduroy will be dropping for $110. All sizes should remain profitable with a very good margin, with large sizes being the best. These are still loaded on the app. Next up, we have the Jordan 1 low Team Red for $110. All sizes should remain very profitable with a great margin on these. These are also still loaded on the app. Then we have the Jordan 1 low green toe for $110, which should also remain profitable with a good margin. Now, this is actually one of the pairs I was referring to earlier, that the stock did load up for these on Nike's back end, but it was removed from the app at the moment. So they may be delayed, that's very possible, or they might just pop up within the next couple of days. We'll see, but either way, I just did want to mention them to you guys anyway, so if you do see them pop up, you're aware if they're worth going for or not, of course. Then we also have the Jordan 1 low Mocha restocking for $110, which should also remain very profitable with a great margin. Now, this is another pair that was removed, unfortunately. In fact, the grade school pairs actually just recently loaded up today, but with the date of February 14th, which makes me hypothesize that most likely the men's pairs will be coming on that date as well, completely irrelevant to these 3 days of restocks. When that grade school pair does drop, though, you can expect them to be very profitable with a great margin as well. Then the Jordan 1 Low Mighty Swoosh will be restocking for $110. You could expect these to also remain very profitable with an incredible margin. These are luckily still loaded on the app. Then the Jordan 1 Mid Light Smoke Gray will restock for $120 and should remain very profitable with a great margin. These are also still loaded on the app. Then the Jordan 1 Mid Coconut will restock for $120 and should remain profitable with a good margin. These are also still loaded on the app. Then we also have the Jordan 1 Zoom Air Comfort Olive Aura restocking for $140. I'm only expecting about lunch money on these with a decent margin, but nonetheless still easy profit. These are also loaded on the app. As you can see, the theme of this day, the fourth, revolved around the Jordan 1 lows, Jordan 1 mids, and the Jordan Zoom. So obviously we have 3 very hectic days ahead, but hopefully this does serve as sort of a guide for which pairs you should be focusing on, since your time will be limited as these are all Leo drops. Let everyone order, you're only going to have 2 minutes. And hopefully some of the tips that I did share earlier will help a lot of you guys comp at least one or maybe several pairs. That would be fantastic. Don't forget that Nike does have completely free returns and cancels, so there's literally no risk on any of these. I also added the direct links for each product in the description and pinned the comment below. I'll also tweet them like I do for all Sitelists drops and restocks and shock drops, of course, via my Twitter, KeithAdam10, and personals for you, such as the recent shock drop we just did see on the Jordan Reserve, so make sure you are following there so you stay up to date. Anyway, that will conclude it for today. Remember that the limited endurance restock will take place on February 3rd, Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time via the Endurance Twitter. Like if you enjoyed, or perhaps if you learned a thing or two, and subscribe. This way you stay 100% updated on every single one of these hyped releases and much more. Also, feel free to check out the links in the description below for reliable, fast residential proxies and pre-verified Nike sneakers or Adidas accounts. Also, feel free to follow Gargantua AIO on Twitter for updates on restock. Last but not least, make sure to follow KeithAdam10 and personals for you. This way, you're always 100% in the loop. With that, I will see you guys later. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and of course, good luck on all these upcoming releases.